Hey guys, it's Otti again. I'm sitting here in an online call with Mike from NOFX. Hi, first of all. I think most people outside who are watching now should know NOFX, but maybe for someone who's clicking in who never heard of your band, who are you and what's your part in the band?
Oh, I'm Fat Mike. I play NOFX.
Yeah, might even be some people that never heard of the band. And NOFX is punk rock band, melodic punk rock with hardcore elements, but and reggae ska elements, but mainly punk rock, you can say.
Or melodic,
So.
yeah. I like to call it melodic hardcore.
Well, yeah, that's a cool name, yes. And as the reason why we are talking now is because you have said you quit the band. NoFX will leave the stage at least. So maybe we just talk a little bit about how everything started, what went on, and how it went out, and what is the end now. To come to the beginning, maybe you can tell me how did you get into the punk and hardcore music back then when you were young?
Oh, well, I got into punk rock in 1981. I saw X and the Subhumans at the Whiskey, and I met NoFX in 1983 outside of punk. Uh, I think it was the Freeze were playing, or no, Personality Crisis. Anyway, it was at outside the Cathay de Grand. We were skateboarding, and we met. That's how I met Smelly.
And Smelly is the drummer for people outside who don't know. And when you remember the time back then, what have been the bands you loved most that you went to concerts and listened to the records?
Adrenaline OD, uh, rudimentary penile, uh, stretch marks from Winnipeg, the FUs from Boston,
Oh, many bands I even don't know. I know more the
Reagan
English
Youth,
part.
Reagan Youth,
Yeah, yeah, I see. And
and then the LA bands, like Suicidal Tendencies and Neighborhood
yeah,
Watch
sure.
and Bad Religion, Social D,
Mhm.
you know,
Totally talking, yes. And
Channel 3.
think Bad Religion, for example, are good friends of you. You had good connections to
Not
each other.
back then. I didn't know him back then.
Mm. So when you think about that time, what have been the coolest moments? What are your best remembrances you have from the beginning of your band and being around, playing around?
Uh, just yeah, being in a band with people, just being in a band with cool dudes. I mean, those weren't the best times when we, toured for 2 months and maybe had 20 shows or no one came, or, having 4 days off in a van with, having $40 between us all to eat. Uh, but that's how it was.
Yes.
You should read our book if you want to know
Mm.
the
I
the
will do
history.
so as well. To be honest, I didn't know about the book before I prepared for this, so I will go and buy it the next days.
No, the
But
book,
I'm,
it's a very good book.
I think so. What was the name in English? It's in Germany. It's like Badewanne. So
It's the hepatitis bathtub
uh,
and
uh,
other stories. And
yep.
there's it's a funny book, but there's also rape and murder and molestation, and it's dark.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have had lots of stories you could tell, and many of them are in the book. So probably you have told most of them even in interviews now.
Right.
So it is not so cool to tell each story again, but maybe at least for the people outside and for me to understand. So how did it come up that you now said, okay, we have 40 years now, NOFX will come to an end? What was the reason in some
It,
sentences?
it's for me mostly.
Mm.
There's other things I want to do, and uh, I find it very good for my soul to play these last shows and say goodbye to our fans, and to say thank you.
Mm. Mm.
And that's why uh, I think, well, I know we've never practiced so much and we've never played better than we are right now.
Yeah.
because we want our last shows to be very good. And people always ask me, well, aren't you just going to get together in another 5 years for a reunion tour? And we're not.
I think you have enough to do with your label, Fat Records and stuff. But let's talk about the tour first. So it's the title is 40 years, 40 cities, and 40 songs, written it down here. So we have a big program, and every evening is, or every show is different, as I have seen. So how do you prepare between the shows? What are the things you have to do to get the next songs ready and stuff? I think it's lots of work.
There's about 150 songs that we have to know.
So,
and we practice them, and I change the set list every time. And we rehearse, and it's the first time in our careers that we actually rehearse.
Okay, cool. And are there some songs you will play every night, like the big hits, something, or is it no, totally not?
Like we're some cities in Barcelona, we played 3 nights, and it was a different 40 songs every night.
Oh, great.
I mean, we don't have hits. NOFX, we've never had radio hits.
No, not radio, but there are some songs who are renowned for most, like Killer or the White Man or Bob, or please play the song on the radio and stuff. One other thing you mentioned in another interview with Oxfancy, I think it was, that you also are tired of being Fat Mike, being that figure. So maybe you can explain this. Is Fat Mike, is it a figure, or is it some personality of you? How would you explain this?
No, I'm tired of having, I mean, it's not a figure, Cokie the Clown, that's a weird character I play, right? This is just me. I don't, when I'm on stage, I'm the exact same as when I'm off stage. It's just, I have to, when I'm performing, I have to be in a good mood. I have to, I pretty much, I don't like going on stage if I'm not wasted, because it seems like a job, and I don't want it to seem like a job, and it's not. It should be fun, but I have to entertain people, and I don't want to have to entertain people. I just want to live and enjoy life.
Okay. So probably you won't do some other band or stuff like this, but Fat Records will be going on.
No, Fat Records is probably not going to go on much longer either.
Okay.
I want to do other things with my life. See, I want to do new things. I've been doing some a little stand up, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm working on a very important. I'm starting a very important company that hopefully will bring more joy to people's lives.
Oh, that sounds good.
Got nothing to do with punk rock.
That sounds good.
And I want to relax a little too, and I just opened the Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas, and I'm CEO, and that's an organization that brings a lot more joy to the world.
Yeah, would be interesting to me as well. Yes, sure.
There's just other things I want to do.
Okay, so you leave the music business behind and say, let's take the rest of your life for interesting things.
Yeah,
looks.
So I also I produce a band, and I'm in a band called the Co-Defendants, but I don't play live with them.
Okay. Oh, so music production still is interesting to you, still writing stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, I just did a string record I did a classical record called Fat Mike Get Strung Out. That's interesting to me, is making classical music.
Cool. So you have, for example, like the musical you have made was also some new experience and stuff.
And that's the other thing. Next year, we're putting the movie into production.
Oh, is it based on the musical, or is it somehow similar?
Well, it was based on it. It's similar, but the musical never, the finished product of the musical never really opened. COVID stopped it.
It stopped so many things, I think. I see. But it seems, not that I'm annoyed of it, but it seems you don't want to talk too much about those stories of NoFX nowadays. Is it like this? Is it like you're tired of
No,
it? Is it like you're bored of it?
well, yeah, I mean, I'm tired of NoFX. It's 40 years of pretty much the same shit.
It's almost my life. Say it like this. I'm not much older than your band somehow. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
totally
I
understand.
definitely
But
don't
it's
want to talk
interesting.
about. I definitely don't want to talk about the old days.
So, okay. It's good to know. But then let's come back to the nowadays, to the last shows. So you have, for example, special guest supports, I think, on most shows. So maybe you
Yeah.
can tell a little bit how you choose them or chose them.
Well, like Pennywise, they're some of our best friends, and Descendants too. You know, Bill Stevenson produced most of our, not most of, but like 3 or 4 of our records. We're just putting bands we really like. A lot of Fat Records bands. Not that we'd really like that we're friends with. But in Europe on this last tour, we have the Scream playing shows, which is awesome. And we're not friends with them, but we love them. And Circle Jerks, you know, we've known those guys forever. And mostly it's bands that we like, that we're friends with.
I see. And I think lots of bands are, for example, as you said, in Europe, there are also local bands like German bands and stuff you invite.
Right.
Cool. And then let's talk a little bit about Fat Records, because I've read a little bit about what you are doing or did last time with the record label. And we are proud of, for example, having many female-fronted bands, many bands with female members, let's say it like this. So what will happen to them? Do you have some talk to them, how things will go on? Do you have another friend label who will care for them or stuff like that?
Oh, well, Fat Records is nothing's Fat Records. What we're doing is selling distribution rights, but Fat Records is going to continue to be a label. It's just I'm not going to be that big a part of it.
So
I'm not going to sign bands and produce bands like I have been for 35 years. You know, not 30, 35, 33 years, but we're still going to put out records.
so it will live on, but will not be pushed that much anymore. You can say it like this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I want to do other things, but you know, my ex-wife, she's still gonna do stuff with Fat Records.
Yes.
We're just kind of scaling down, and like right now we have like 25 distributors around the world, and now we're gonna go with one.
Yes, it's too much time that is spent on this as well. So
yeah, I don't want to spend all that time doing that anymore.
And besides, for example, the museum and the company you are building up, what are the things you are looking for after your retirement, so to say?
More kinky sex.
Okay. No.
And like I've been going on bike riding trips around the world. You know, in June I'm going to the Isle of Wight in England for a 5-day bike trip.
Oh, cool.
And we're doing I just like I want to see the world more, not from touring.
Yeah, I totally understand, because many musicians tell it like you have been to every town, every city in the world, but you didn't see anything. So maybe this is what you're longing for.
Yeah,
See the
and I
world.
don't want to go to tourist attractions. But you know, in Australia, I just went on a 3-day bike trip. It was actually 5 days, and it was so cool to see, you know, a whole bunch of Victoria in Australia in the outback, and you know, it's living.
I think so. It's the
And
animals, nature.
I'm in my 50s still, so I want to do stuff while I still can.
Yeah, I see. And you can do it if you go for 70 or something like Rolling Stones after such a career, you can't do anything more. So yeah, I totally understand it. I think many musicians do the mistake to be too long on stage, to don't leave it.
I think this is the perfect time to call it quits.
Cool. And will there be one last record or something, one best of, or as you say, you don't have hits or something?
So we have
or live,
we have a 5-song record coming out in a couple months, but then we have one last record that we've recorded, and
something else people can look forward to.
But it's not finished yet. It takes me a long time to finish records.
Okay, but you have done lots of records in your life, so normally it's not that long as other bands. For example, some bands take 10 years for a record.
Yeah, it usually takes us a couple years. But yeah, we have actually I have like 40 or 50 songs that haven't been recorded properly. NOFX songs, but we have a record that's almost done.
Yes.
Well, it won't come out till we're done touring though.
Yeah, the tour is till I think end of next year or end of this year.
This year, October 6th.
Yeah. There will be one last final show in Los Angeles. Was it?
Yeah, three shows.
Oh, 3 shows. Yeah. I was just seeing the schedule and thought, okay, it's your home where you come from. Yeah. So do you have something special for this at least? Have you said, okay, we do like a special for the last shows, or is it like the other ones of this tour?
It's like the other ones, but it's going to be a lot sadder. The last show, we got a really big stage that holds 500 people on it.
Okay.
So we're going to have like bleachers, and the last show, I know it's like all the people are going to be in bands. Like all these bands want to come to our last show, so they're going to be on the stage. So it's going to be really weird looking, like seeing 500 people on stage with us.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, would be glad to be there. Yes.
They have their own PA system and everything, which is what we're doing in Europe too. You know, people can stand on stage and they get their own PA system, so it sounds good.
And so, as you say, a little bit of sadness is still there, that you say, okay, maybe 1 tear or 2 when you leave the stage last time. Will it be like this, or do you say, okay, I'm happy when it's over?
Oh, well, I'm sad. I've been crying at a lot of our last shows.
Okay.
The last one in Australia, I cried, but no regrets.
Do you regret nothing for the whole story, for the whole NOFX story?
No, you know, even when we made mistakes are just lessons.
Just may I ask, are the pictures behind, are these some ancestors of you or something, or is it just a collection?
Oh, those are my parents and grandparents and me and my daughter. It is family. They're family photos that I blew up.
Okay, so you still have some feeling for your family and stuff, and I think
they're all, besides my daughter, everyone in those photos is dead.
Okay. So
I mean, it's just, I actually just think they're really cool photos.
yeah, it's really old photos and stuff, so it looks like a vintage collection.
Yeah, and instead of having photos in a little picture book in an album, I like to have them on the wall. I think they look cool.
Yeah, see, it looks good. That was why I was asking. And about your daughter, I know she studied or is still studying. Is it like this?
She's in college.
In college, yes. And are there some plans with her too? Some hobbies together? Do you, for example, go riding with her, bike riding afterwards?
We used to ride bikes together a lot. I know she'll be in some of our European shows and other shows here and there. Okay. She's 19 years old. She just wants to do teenage stuff.
So she doesn't want to hang around with her old dad, maybe. Yes, it's always the same. Later on, when she's older, maybe she says, okay, let's spend more time together. So I think let's come to an end, because I really see it's hard to you to talk about the old stuff you said, and you can't tell everything that is coming, because some surprises should be there. But maybe as the last thing, I asked you at the beginning, what have your favorite bands back then? Maybe you have some recommendations for all those people that are now sad that NoFX leaves the stage. Whom should people nowadays see, listen to, for example, Fat Wreck bands or other bands you really like, that you say?
Phew. I wish I knew music very well. I really don't. I don't listen to music very often at all. If I want to hear music, it's it's great songs from the 60s or 70s, or cello music, but I really think my band, The Co-Defendants, is a good listen. It's the first time I ever won Best Album of the Year.
Nice.
On Punk Vinyl, and there was over 1 million votes altogether. And
yeah, that's nice. It's okay,
so
then
that's a cool record. I don't know.
I will listen to it.
I have a lot of advice for new bands. I don't like music very much. I like great songs.
So it's all about the song, not about the band, I would say.
That's why I listen to like the hits of the 60s and the hits of the 70s. I like great songwriting. And I don't listen to records very often because I think most records don't have that many good songs. I do like Frank Turner a lot.
Yeah, Frank Turner. He's part of your musical as well, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, yes. I've seen. Oh, cool. So I think, thanks first of all that you took your time, and I hope it was not too bad to you to talk about all this
I
stuff.
appreciate the interview.
And maybe I will see if I can come to Cologne. Maybe we will meet there, or at least I will be there. See you
Well,
on
say
stage.
hi. Yeah, say hi. Yeah. There's one more thing I do want to talk about, though.